Hello and welcome to an exotic critique. I am your host DK and we'll be going over the Invective shotgun. Before going over the actual review of the gun itself, I'd like to briefly go over how to obtain it. To obtain this shotgun, you'd have to do a exotic weapon bounty called a dubious task. Now unfortunately this task is given randomly and I don't know a surefire way how to obtain it. I've heard theories of completing a certain amount of bounties within a certain amount of days, but I have not read anything that would confirm this information. From the bounty itself, you'd have to do 3 main tasks and then make kind of a small purchase. And I use small in the, I don't know, in a weird way, not really small, it's kind of expensive. But from that though, the first of the 3 tasks is to complete 5 strikes without dying. I find the easiest way to do this is to speedrun the Devil's Lair. Just team up with 2 friends or just get a bunch of randoms and do the easiest strike that's available. And after completing 5 without dying, then you would proceed to the next, which is to earn a kill death spread of 25 in the Crucible. Now this isn't the same as kill death ratio. What this means is that you would have to earn 25 kills overall more than deaths. Now this is a cumulative and can be done in more than 1 game. I did it possibly in, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 games, maybe less, but it is not that hard. It doesn't mean kill death ratio, it's not impossible, it's very possible, and it's actually probably the easiest from the 3 challenges. The final challenge, or task, is to complete a weekly heroic strike. Now this might be the hardest out of the bunch because weekly heroics tend to have these buffers that make the strike a lot more challenging than it usually is. For instance, arc damage turned up, or enemies not being able to flinch or something. But if you just team up with 2 buddies that are good at cooperation, then I guarantee you will be able to pass the weekly heroic strike. Now the final task you have to do is to purchase 50 special ammo packs to charge an uncharged Invective that you get from the earlier 3 tasks. Once you do this, you go straight to your core array and you obtain your shotgun. I also must add that the cost of the 50 special ammo packs costs about 12,500 glimmer, so save up that money just in case. But this is how you obtain the weapon. So now to the actual review. So I will go down the skill tree and I'll just basically show off what this gun can do. So the default things that you don't actually have to apply here are the full auto and solar damage. That's just how it is. The gun is fully automatic right when you get it from the from Ikora, I believe is her name. So yeah, the fully automatic can actually be very effective, and I would say that this is a primary focus for this weapon. And with this clip here I'm about to show you, you will see exactly how the more rapid firing shotgun can be to your advantage.
You're in the lead.
The next part of the skill tree is the projectile types. So we have 3 different kinds, and I would like to talk more about this one after, but I'll briefly go over these first 2. So the first one, gives you a slight bit of range, a really small amount. I do not think, or when I was using the gun, I did not feel much of a difference using this projectile type. I just applied it because it's the first one I earned, so I tried it out, and actually I did way worse with this weapon than, say, any other rare shotguns that I've had in the past. So I would kind of just use it when you first get it, but after that it really didn't seem that much more useful. Second one is a little, yeah, I don't know. It's about the same thing too. I actually didn't use it very much. I just used it a couple games, so there's a drastic difference, and I felt like there wasn't. If anything, it felt like, yeah, it felt the same pretty much. I did not feel too much of a difference. The third one though is something that I would like to use because even though it does even though it does do hinder your range a bit, kind of like the first one, it does not really affect too much your stability, and I will come back to that later. And also the recoil, I noticed, is a little more, well, as described, it's much more predictable. So that will come in handy. The next skill in the tree is the final round. Now, this is something that I have a hard time testing in Crucible, but I do have a short clip here that I do test the first bullet and the last bullet, and the last bullet does significantly much more damage than any of the other bullets in the magazine. I would say, yeah, this is a quite useful perk, especially unloading on those ultras. I noticed while going through the normal Vanguard playthrough that I can actually down each ultra if I can just unload the whole clip on him, no matter what shield they have or what kind of even level. Usually, any level I could pretty much hit him up to maybe 26. I noticed I've been downing them or so. Maybe, no, maybe 24. 24, 25. So, yeah, very useful perk. Besides these upgrade damages, they just basically upgrade the attack and all that, but the next perk I would like to talk about is the weapon perks themselves. Now, these give other different types of attributes. This particular attribute here, allows you to draw a little quicker. Now, when I did first apply this, it was much more useful. I would win a little bit more gunfights, but I prefer this perk here, which is fitted stock. I believe the stability of this weapon is key to actually applying it usefully, and therefore I would say this is the best out of the three perks, because this third perk here, Send It, gives it a bit more range, but when I tried it, I felt the range wasn't really enough for me to merit its usage. I would say I would still win around the same amount of one-on-one fights. I felt that I was actually winning a lot more fights with the stability because I could stay on target. Sometimes, even when out of range, I could fire the second gun, I could reciprocate another shot much more quicker than my opponent, and therefore I would down him way much more quicker than I would with any of the other perks. So, the final perk here, or final thing on the skill tree, besides these are just all damage upgrades is this one here called Invective. This is what the gun's namesake is. It regenerates ammo over time, and now I found this to be both very useful in Vanguard and Crucible. There are times, well, in Vanguard it's a little more obvious. You can wait around and not really pick up any ammo. You might be stuck, you can't reach an ammo source or something, and having that ability to always not be empty is quite nice. I clocked it about maybe 9 or 10 seconds before bullets come back to you, so it's quite handy. It's very handy. In Crucible especially, I felt that it was quite nice. I play a lot of Control, and I find myself holding down, the B flag or whatever flag is most populated, and I can stay there for quite a good time without having to run out, leave my spot, risk the point being captured, and just to get more ammo. So I'm able to stay in my spot, hold it down, and kill most of the opponents that do come by. So I would say Invective is an actual really good piece in the skill tree that I would say has a lot of use. So yeah, just overall usage of the gun. I mean, well, speaking of shotguns in general, I mean, most shotguns in Vanguard have like a certain niche, I would say, such as taking out ultras. I think that's what they're best at, maybe. You can go up to them, do massive amounts of damage to that pesky yellow guy, or those guys with the yellow names, and take them out, and then, just pull out your primary and just wipe out the weenies. But other than that, and maybe some crowd control, yeah, it can be useful, but, besides those tactics, I say all shotguns in Vanguard have quite limited use. I don't see myself running up to a boss and shotgunning him in the face unless he's just like an ultra or something, but if he's like the Devil Walker or just any of the final mission bosses, I would not be equipping a shotgun anyways. I'd say the place where this gun really shines the most is the Crucible. This is where this gun really shines. But I do have to say, tactics-wise, this gun is not a full frontal assault type of shotgun. No siree. I would place this gun to more around something where you would flank. Like, I believe because of this gun's lack of range and impact, going one-on-one with other shotgunners may result in being one-shotted, really. I've seen a lot of shotguns that have really good range, actually, and have picked me from quite a distance. I wouldn't be able to even punch them. I couldn't do a 1-2 punch or anything. Yeah, but although I do must say, like, although you may rely less on that 1-2 punch because of this gun. I mean, the 1-2 punch being where you shoot and then you immediately do your melee attack to finish him off. So I would say because this gun has such a fast firing rate, you can reciprocate a second shot much faster, and therefore you can possibly just hold the trigger down and take out your opponent, which is why I say stability is probably a lot more useful in this gun than I would say the range add-on. So but again, this gun works best when you flank. I say the full auto helps you take out the opposition before they can even catch on to you if you can get them from the back. The final words for this gun, I would have to say, is that this gun is an absolute monster when utilized properly. With its fast fire rate, keeping on target and surprising your enemy is key to acquiring the kill. Its small ammo capacity and slow reload are hindrances you can easily overcome by smart math movement. Taking the flank and attacking from behind will give you that split second you need to wipe out all that oppose you.